Today we're going to be streaming the Sunday night, not Sunday night, the Sunday games for the NFL playoffs. I'm going to be simulating the Chargers at the Patriots, and then I'm going to be doing the Eagles at the Saints. I think I said yesterday I was going to be playing as the Chargers, going into the Patriots. I actually changed my mind. I'm actually going with the Patriots to defeat the Chargers. So we're going to start with that one. And we're going to try and jump into these real quick. The actual games for Saturday kick off in about an hour. So we're going to go ahead and start the Sunday night game, the Sunday games, and see how we can do. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to start with the Patriots, and Patriots over the Chargers. And like I said, so far last week I was 4 for 4 with my picks. So we're going to see how this week goes.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent match.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports
Looks
coverage
like
of the National Football League brings us
Patriots
to
will take the kick first.
Foxborough, Mass. Straight ahead,
and we're going to see Tom Brady in the offense on the field to see who will go to the AFC title game to face
Chargers and the New England Patriots.
The
Tom Brady and the Patriots offense getting set for divisional round
Chiefs.
matchup with the Chargers, but you know recently Tom Brady,
as you can see in the bottom of the screen, Madden has predicted Dallas is going to beat the Rams 20-17
so, look, he
tonight.
threw for 4,000 again this season, 7th time in the last 8 years, and he's a bionic man, I guess.
I guess so. He has really done a great job of not just taking care of himself. He only had the ones.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33
And it's predicting
yards.
the Colts will lose to Kansas City like I predicted as well.
How about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Oh, good footwork on the spin. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Gronk and touchdown, Gronk.
And he's going to get into the end zone. So cue up the Gronk spike. It's a Patriot touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, 32 yards. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point.
And 7-0 quickly.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Now Austin Eckler on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Time to focus in on Phillip Rivers as he brings out the Chargers offense. And looking back to week 4, Rivers passed John Elway to move into 8th place all-time in passing yards. And the 2 guys ahead of him now in 6th and 7th, both active, both from his draft class, Charles. Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, so when you start about draft classes with quarterbacks, obviously 1983 comes up big. I mean, it's got its own show, all right? People talk about it all the time. Elway, of course, was part of that. But this class of 2004, that's Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, and, of course, Phillip Rivers. Give them a pretty good run for their money, aren't they?
Yeah, quite a few wins, quite a few Super Bowls in that crew. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And the 2015 first-round pick, Malcolm Brown, brings him down. Defensively, here are the starters for New England. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
Throwing Rivers. Finds his target. It's Gates. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
4 catches for him in the wild card win a week ago, and he's got his first here, and it's a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or it moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to...
Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. But they face a second and long to start things out. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Adrian Claiborne in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
To throw, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
All right, as the Patriots come back out here, take me to school on their upcoming round 2 game against the LA Chargers. How does this one shake down?
Hey, you and I are in the same classroom. We're both sitting right up front trying to get schooled on this ourselves. But I think the Chargers coming in hot, feeling good about their victory on the road in Baltimore. Remember, they won 12 games in the regular season. Beat the number 1 seed Kansas City on their home field. They're very confident, led by Phillip Rivers. But New England, getting that week off by being the number 2 seed, and the Chargers going to their place, a lot of people are going to rely on New England's experience and history to carry them home to a victory. I think the Chargers are coming awfully high. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Chargers pull this off.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver.
Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. He was looking for Gronk that time. The CD, one thing you and I haven't discussed now that we are in the playoffs now, we know how the start of the draft is going to go. You look at the top 5, Arizona, San Fran, Jets at 3, Raiders, wherever they may be at 4, Tampa Bay 5. What are your thoughts?
Well, immediately, this is going to be different in 2019 than 2018 because in 2018, it was all about the quarterbacks. I don't think that's going to be the case. You just mentioned the top 5. You can make a legitimate case that in the top 5, none of those teams are in the market to select a quarterback. So now, who is? I think you got to get to number 6 with the New York Giants. That's where the quarterback market begins.
That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Slant route. Caught by Edelman. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice...
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Rob Gronkowski. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Gronkowski now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And Charles, I've got to give credit to the Chargers because you finished 12-4, second best record in the AFC, but you find yourself in the wild card game. You traveled across country and play in a 10 a.m. start for him if you consider West Coast time. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And now he's taken down. And Rivers in the end zone. Down to the ground he goes. That results in a safety and 2 points. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Brady. Wide open, Julian Edelman. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brandon Mebane continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. The final shot before half for Brady. Letting one go deep here for Gronk. And this one is incomplete. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the 2nd half of this AFC Divisional round. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's Rivers. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
On play action, Rivers. This will be caught just inside the 10. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Rivers, and he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers, and Rivers after the sack. Rivers now. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they've designed on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Finding room inside the 40. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 52 yards. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Out to his left. Fighting to stay upright. And his pass incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This is taken to the 13. And now running right through it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third. Back now in Foxborough. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. 3rd and long for Rivers. Allen's got it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. Looking deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Check it, reload.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And room there to work it inside the 25. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ozzy! Ozzy! Wait, set! Wait, 20! Switch!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shifts by him. Now he goes spin. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Wait, 20!
A give. This is Michelle. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
20! Wait, 20!
Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Malcolm! Wait, 20! Wait, 20!
Brady going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
20! Wait, 20!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly.
Oh, seal it.
4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
4th down, ball's at the 1 yard
I'll
line.
just kick the field goal with a,
or
give
do you
it a
go ahead and
second
kick
here.
a field goal? I think because you're going to end up giving a long field even if you don't score, I put my trust in my defense. I go for it and try and get the points.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
All right,
so
guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the second game
You've been
here.
watching the NFL on EA.
We're going to do the Eagles at the Saints. I'm going to be playing as the Saints.
Next? Choose yes to
Come
continue
on.
playing this team season.
Go to exhibition. Go to play now. Eagles Saints. And like I said, I'll be playing as the Saints. And let's get this second game underway. Hopefully it won't take long. I got the games kicking off. I got the first game kicking off in about half hour here. So we're going to go ahead and get this game started. Once the coach comes on, there we go.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans.
Saints will get the ball in the second half.
Entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught at the 25. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Wentz going to throw. Floating one incomplete. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Hello, buddy.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Wentz now to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Even though Wentz isn't the quarterback, Nick Foles is the quarterback. But whatever. Obviously, Madden didn't update the roster.
That we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
So the next time we leave one of those coaches meetings and we're walking out in the hall and you're like, how come we spend so much time talking about special teams?
There you go. This is why.
This is why, right? And then look, I'm right there with you. We hear it every time we meet with coaches, but it is a big part of it. And look at how early in the game this occurs. They block a kick, and not only does it set a tone, it sends a message for the rest of the game.
Yeah, so much for our first points of the game. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Ready? You ready? Easy.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate?
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Breeze now to throw. That's out to Hill, right side complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready. You ready?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Thomas. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you got a team working together, and they got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Football going back over to Philadelphia here, and this is a team who 6 weeks ago really looked lost, but then they won 5 of their last 6 to get to the 6th and final playoff spot, and then they defeat Chicago on the road.
Yeah, Nick Foles, he did it again, didn't he? Who would have thought that he would have to hop back in as he did last season, help carry this team not just to the playoffs, but get a win in the first round in Chicago in a cold weather game? How about Nick Foles? He just keeps doing it. Now they've got to go to New Orleans and take on the #1 seeded New Orleans Saints.
And only 2 number 6 seeds have ever won the Super Bowl. Steelers in 2005 and the Packers in 2010. They're trying to become number 3. Play action to Sproles. Wins. It's complete to Golden Tate. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now Wentz. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Well, Charles, a little bit earlier you were talking about the first time that the Saints and Eagles met up earlier this season as we think about their upcoming playoff game, which you will be calling, by the way. But 48-7 was the final in Week 11. What are the keys in this upcoming game?
Well, for New Orleans, an intact offensive line would be a great start. They were dinged up a little bit down the stretch. Their ability to run the football with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara allows Drew Brees to make those throws downfield to guys like Mike Thomas and make the big plays and, of course, swing it out to Kamara out of the backfield. On the defensive side of the ball, their ability to pressure Nick Foles will actually be a key in this game. Cam Jordan, their all-pro defensive end, will have a big hand in that.
That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Lutz now to kick this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And out now come the Eagles. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. First down, Wentz. Screen pass to Sproles. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Wentz will try again on second down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Wentz now on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. Now Wentz again. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. And Elliott puts this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. The dangerous Hill now to return. Oh, eluding the tackle. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And some room to roam now. Whoosh. There goes Mark Ingram. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints add on to their lead.
So, man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Sproles. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Hurts over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Adams. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. On 2nd down, Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. And down right around the 37. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Yellow lady.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Breeze hands to Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
21. Ready? Waiting.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Waiting.
Breeze gives it up to Ingram. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Hey, kill!
On second down, Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Alrighty, there's less than a minute and a half left. Just run the ball, run the clock out. And
Here's
this
Kamara.
should do it. There we go.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
This will be the final play of the game, unless I score a touchdown. There we go, Ingram. All right, that will do it, guys.
He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind
that
the line.
is my Saturday stream for my Sunday predictions. Had the Patriots beating the Chargers, and I had the Saints beating the Eagles. Yeah, so we'll be back next week, and we will simulate the AFC and the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, next week sometime.
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you
just a recap. I have the NFC Championship game, the Rams going to the Saints, and the Patriots going to the Chiefs.
So that's a wrap for Charles
So
Davis.
we'll see what happens.
And this has been a
we'll see if I can go
presentation of the NFL on EA
4 for 4 again
Sports.
this
For
week.
more, check us out at
Until next week, guys.
EASports.com.
It's been
The
DamagedCmpunk.
Saints are winners here as we say so long.
Have a good one.